Yay Networks.
Hello.
Hiya.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Laura.
And this is
Cheers to that shit.
What a day.
Yeah, what a topic today, too.
What a topic today. What a time to be alive. Oh, boy. Before we jump in, anything fun happening in your life?
No, not really. Can't say. Just my dogs, I always talk about the dogs, but I have one that might be pregnant, so.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so we might have puppies soon.
Buggy keeps asking
Like
about
on
your
purpose.
puppies.
On purpose.
Yeah.
Not like a, whoops.
Did I talk about my garden last time?
No, but I've seen it on your story, and it's quite ambitious.
I got a blister.
Womp womp.
Like, what manual labor am I doing right now? Ugh. Why am I doing this? Yeah, I didn't talk about it last time, but I say we very loosely, me had a cute little minty bee and decided to go outside and dig a 25 by 30 foot hole in my backyard to put a raised garden, very like Joanna Gaines.
Wannabe.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm sure Joanna Gaines hired people with tillers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I have a shovel. So
and a blister on
and
your
a blister.
thumb.
I have a shovel and a blister. So I finally, Ryan finally helped out this past weekend into it, and I could just see his enthusiasm.
Yes.
And then he's like,
such an enthusiastic person to begin with.
It's like, whoa, buddy, please,
I can just
down.
see the eye rolls right now. I can feel it.
I'm like at a constant 9.5.
Yeah.
I could be up or down, but I'm gonna be at a 9.5.
Right.
Always. Ryan is like pulling it at a solid 2.
A cool, collected,
very.
He's very just
stoic,
flat line.
Yeah.
Like just same.
Yeah. It's funny because my parents got him a TV, like a really nice TV for his 30th birthday, and I recorded him opening it.
Yeah.
I'll have to show you the video, and he's like, "Oh, nice." And my mom was like, Was he excited? And I said, he might as well have been jumping up and down.
Right.
Like, yeah, that's
for him. That was
excited.
super excited.
Yeah.
He said, nice.
He said, oh, nice. Like, oh, yeah, you didn't catch
the enthusiasm.
Like, it was overflowing. Yeah. So our garden, it's, Ryan asked me to get a price of everything and like a whole list of stuff together. Yeah.
Good times. I
didn't realize, obviously this Joanna Gaines is rich as fuck because I'm sitting in here. I'm like, bitch, how the fuck you making this garden?
I love how that you just see little clips of her going out and working and picking and pulling something. And I'm like,
bitch, you ain't doing that shit.
Well, that's all that she's doing is for the camera for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
She
so,
didn't
stay tuned.
I don't know. Maybe she did. Don't come at me, all you Joanna Gaines people.
Stay tuned. Maybe when it's finished in 6 years, I'll put a picture up on our story.
Well, if the world blows up, at least you can live off the land. You know how to grow your own vegetables.
There's literally no growth happening. It's dirt. We've even trying to get it all even now. So, it's real cute.
Good. Awesome.
Anyway, speaking of the world blowing up, and, having to live off the earth, today we're going to talk about dead people.
Because that's always a good time.
So,
which I guess in this sense, it kind of could be a good time. I don't know. No, I mean, in a honoring
way. Yes. We are going to talk about how to honor your loved ones at your wedding.
Who aren't here anymore.
Yeah. Your dead ones, your dead loved ones, the ones that are gone. Oh my God, it's not Monty Python. It's one of the, is it? Yeah. Like it's like talking about the parrot. It's an ex-parrot. He's bereft. No, okay.
I'm not a Monty Python person.
No, I picked that up very quickly.
My blank look didn't give it away.
Real quick. Anyway, so we're gonna, before we talk about like ways to actually honor your dead loved ones, we're gonna kind of go through our personal opinions because what else do we do here besides judge everybody?
We definitely have them.
So the first thing I think we should talk about is like, should you honor them? And I think let's give our personal thoughts on it.
I don't have a problem with it because I think it's, obviously when you have big moments in your life, you always think about the ones that are not there anymore, that you wish they could share in that with you. Obviously everyone wants their deceased loved ones to be back with them. So I think it's okay. I personally think it's okay. I think it just is a matter of how you do it and what is okay to you, and how you honor someone who's passed away may not be the same for another person in your family.
No two people grieve the same, even over the same person. No two people are going to grieve
so,
the same.
If it's a sibling, okay, I've lost a sibling.
Yeah.
How I might choose to honor her, remember her in an event, my living sister, it might be traumatic for her to do that.
Right.
Or, so I think you have to be very aware of that, especially when a wedding is a family event and you're inviting all of your family and your loved ones. So you're obviously sharing in a common situation.
Yeah.
And then you're inviting all of your friends, which are family friends, and they probably have some grief associated with that too.
Yeah. I also think it's important to remember that your wedding is your wedding, not a memorial. So for me personally, yes, I also think that it is totally fine to honor your loved ones at a wedding. I wanted to honor my mom's mom and my aunt's passed away partner. And after a long conversation with my mom, she kind of was like, I don't know if that's the best thing to do, because Ryan's mom had also passed, and she was like, that's a parent. So we kind of talked it through. I think I had like a picture of my grandma, my aunt, but we did do something for Ryan's mom.
Yeah, I think a mom of the actual two people getting married, if it's a parent, I think that kind of trumps
100%. So I do think it is important to honor, especially a parent or a very close friend or something like that. I think it's very important to honor them if you want to, but I think it is very crucial that you pick this is going to sound so bad, but like a tasteful way to honor them.
Yeah, I think it's probably not even a bad idea to have that discussion with other people rather than just saying, well, it's my wedding, it was my sister, it was my mom, and this is what I'm going to do. I think you really need to have that conversation with the closest people who that would probably affect as well.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm trying to be like
it's
sensitive,
difficult,
but I don't give a shit.
I'm a super sentimental person and very tenderhearted, and I'm not a hoarder by any means, because I'm not. But I do save little things that are super sentimental to me.
Yeah.
So my personal way of honoring, and of course, when I got married, I wasn't in that situation where I had anyone that was deceased that I wanted to pay, homage to. But my way would be like, a ribbon wrapped around your bouquet, or, with a locket on it that maybe had a picture of them, just something, maybe an item of theirs. I did carry at Jackie's wedding a handkerchief that was my mom's handkerchief. So, and cause I knew I'd be teary when I blow up my eyes, and I just put it in my little handbag. And so that was my way of honoring. I didn't need pictures. I mean, now it was Jackie's wedding, so she wanted to honor my mom. Both of my parents actually. But it was just, that's my way. Yeah. That's in one way of doing it.
I think it's extremely important. And as we go through the episode, we'll talk about like how like the traditional ways that people have been honoring their lost ones. And then we'll kind of also talk about new modern ways that people are spinning it, because I think it's important to do it. But there are so many things that people do at weddings that are trying to be super sentimental that actually end up being really sad. And
it's
a point of a wedding.
Yeah, it's a happy occasion. It's a party. You're
don't want to
celebrating.
Put a damper on a really happy moment. And yes, that person isn't there. Yes, you're missing them, but you also don't want to go your whole day, your whole celebration.
It's not a recap of the funeral.
Right.
Yeah.
So
to put it bluntly.
Yeah. Just to throw it out there. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about some traditional ways that people have been honored
in the past.
Yeah. We're back.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some traditional ways to honor your deceased loved ones. A lot of things that people have done is, like you said, to wear something or, keep something with them, to carry a photo or something with them. I did carry, like on my bouquet, I did put one of my grandmother's brooches, like a little pin. So I did do that. And I wore Ryan's mom's ring, not her wedding ring, just a ring that she had.
Yeah.
So I did do that.
I've heard of people, taking just a piece of fabric or something from another piece of clothing and stitching it inside, or inside the jacket, or on your wedding dress. I'm trying to think.
Some people save a seat, like they do, like one of the.
Yes, you know what? That I have a real story about that.
Share it.
When I went to my nephew's wedding, my sister had passed away, and so when my nephew got married, and I went to the wedding, I didn't notice that there was a seat there with flowers on it, because I walked down the aisle to sit and went to the side. Like I wasn't really paying attention to the front row.
Yeah.
And there was, because it was an outdoor wedding, so it was only one chair on the front row, on the groom's side.
Yeah.
So, because the dad was the best man, so there was no need for anyone to sit on the front row.
Yeah.
And so there was an empty chair there for my sister, and had flowers on it, and there was a little chalkboard thing, and it said, if heaven weren't so, what is that
so
little?
far away, we know you, or so
we know you'd be here today, something like that. And when I saw that, I literally lost my shit.
Really?
Like uncontrollable crying. It was so, I just was caught off guard. I don't like being caught off guard, especially for something that emotional.
Yeah.
And thank God I had my other sister there with me, but she's a lot stronger than I am. So she was able to calm me down. But yeah, it wasn't great. If you guys want to do that, that's probably one of my least favorite things.
Yeah, I have a funny story. One of my really good friends, you actually know her as well. I won't say her name because I don't know if she'll want me to share this, but her dad passed away, and she did the chair at her wedding, but she put some of his ashes in the chair, but I didn't know that the little like canister that it was, it looked like a jewelry box. So I was trying to open it.
Oh my gosh. Hey, you in there, buddy?
Hello, Dad.
Glad you could make it. So you got a front row seat.
I don't think I got your RSVP. But I was trying to open it, and I was like, I went up to her, I was like, hey, what is in here? Why in this opening? She was like, my dad. And I was like, oh my God.
God rest his soul.
And I was like, oh God. Okay. But yeah, she did the same kind of cute thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was like a little, if you made a heart with your hands, that's how big it was.
Yeah.
So it was just like a little silver, put it on the chair, a memorial, like a chair. Some people do a memorial table.
Yes.
Ryan's sister.
I think that's probably one of the most common things. We had one of those at Jackie's wedding.
I know did. Yeah.
Dom's mom's picture was there, and my parents' pictures were there, my sister's pictures were there. But interestingly enough, because Dom's dad was there, his mom had passed away already. We had a wedding picture, and I was like, we can't put a wedding picture up there that because we had my parents' wedding picture, and I thought, well, we'll do his because he's still alive. Yes. So I was like, no, we have to find a different picture, because I can't have a table of people who aren't here and someone who is
like, that's a weird, like dark
cloud. So, I mean, just things to think about.
Yeah. We, Ryan's sister did a memorial table for their mom, and it was really beautiful. It was it was in the ceremony space, but it was like, she got married outside in Ireland. It was gorgeous. But it was like maybe like 10 feet behind before she actually like walked before the chairs and everything. Mm-hmm. But it was just so beautiful. There was a picture, and her dress had pearls on it. Mm-hmm. So there were like pearls laced through it. It was really, really pretty, but it was very subtle. Yes. And I feel like that might've been it. And we did, a moment of silence, which is very, very common. Some people do a prayer or a moment of silence. We did a moment of silence, and it was very like a 10-second, like, for everyone that's not here. And then we did a memorial mantle, because we got married in a historic home and there are fireplaces all throughout. So we just picked one of the mantles and did like Bells of Ireland and made it really pretty with some florals in our picture.
Yeah, I think subtle is better. I mean, and that's, you know, I've lost both of my parents. I've lost a sister. I've had a lot of loss. So that's just coming from a place of like, it can be a lot. It can be a lot. And I think it, you know, if you could do it in just a very subtle, tasteful way. I know this isn't super, well, it kind of plays on the traditional, but in Dom's family, they, his grandmother had, and I could be wrong on all the details, but his grandmother had some pearl earrings. And so when the oldest granddaughter got married, still alive. She was still alive, but loaned them like the something borrowed, wear these pearl earrings, and it became a thing. So every daughter in the family would wear those pearl earrings. And now that she is no longer here, it's kind of become a memorial sort of thing. Yeah. So I like that. Like take something really that you start as a tradition while they are still alive. And then it just becomes kind of a way to honor them once they're gone.
Sorry, I'm so sniffly. These allergies are killing me. I love that pollen's everywhere. Another thing, like with the moment of silence, some people will do a toast. One thing that, and I'm sorry to anyone if I offend you, that I don't actually like is a toast or playing their song. I think that when you bring it into the reception and when you bring it into people are drinking, your emotions are already pretty high from the day, like high emotions, not low, but like high emotions. I think when you start to bring it into, it can get very
unhealthy.
Yeah, I think it can get very, I will say for Ryan's mom, he did a dance to a song that she liked, that like they liked together, and he danced with her best friend, and everyone
she was kind of almost like a stand-in.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And I don't mean a stand-in,
but
we
had
that,
her to
that vibe to it.
Yes, we asked her to,
because he didn't have a mother-son dance.
Right. So we asked her ahead of time to like, you know, I would love for you to be the person that I dance with. Anyway, so that was like, it was sad, but it wasn't like, hey, let's dance to an anniversary song.
Right.
It was a very like, he loved it. It was very special for him. But I've been to weddings where it's just like song after song after song. And you're like, holy fuck, this is sad. Yeah.
It is overwhelming.
And it gets to be heavy, where it's like,
well, I think it's the
one song. Okay. 2 songs. It like the ceremony becomes not about the couple anymore.
It becomes a memorial service.
Yeah. And it's just, again, if you're going to go into this, I'm telling you to do something. It's your fucking day. I don't give a shit what you do. Everyone grieves differently. Everyone wants to remember someone differently. Do what you want to do. Do what you and your partner are happy with doing. But when you start to take so much away, like you're starting to do things for a specific reason for that person. Yeah, it becomes off of the couple getting married.
It becomes a themed event about someone
not being
there. And you're starting a new life. Chapter, you want to be... You're there to share it with the people that are there.
Yeah.
So I think you have to really weigh those things.
There is a fine balance. Yeah. So I guess these are very traditional ways to honor your loved ones. People have been doing them for years and years and years. We've done them. I think some of them are really great. I think some of them could probably, we could piece out.
I'm just, like you said, when it's bleeding into the reception, I think the ceremony part, whether you're having a religious ceremony in a church or, you know, at a religious place, or if you're getting married at the venue or outside in a park somewhere, it's still a ceremony. It's just a rite of passage, ritualistic kind of thing. So I think, you know, usually you have prayer, even if you're not a super religious person, there's just these like moments.
There are moments to add in
to a ceremony. Yes. The reception
very organic to kind of put it in.
Yes. The reception's the party. It's the let loose. It's the let's have fun. I'm not a fan of bringing it there.
Agreed. Okay. Let's take another quick break and then we will talk about some new modern twists to honoring your dead people. Alrighty.
Yep.
What were you going to say?
I don't know what I was going to say. Forget I was going to say anything.
Laura opened her mouth and then was just like, yep. Okay, so let's talk about some new, modern, fun ways that we can honor our loved ones, that we can remember them at our wedding. Mm-hmm. So one thing that I saw was serving a dessert that they used to do, which I thought was super cute, because that way you don't really have to like make a big thing.
Right.
I think it's sometimes really special if it's just you and the people that know.
Right.
Knowing.
It's kind of, yes, it's kind of like, yes.
Yeah.
You know, it's
like,
just that acknowledgement. It's not a big, whoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's not heavy.
Doing something like that is always fun. Choosing a single flower to stand out in your bouquet, or using an old piece of their fabric to make a pocket square. Mm-hmm. I thought that was really touching. I think that's really cute. Like if you were to have an all white bouquet, and then why can I never say that word? It trips me up, and then my brain gets into it, and I'm like, you know, the bunch of flowers that you hold. If you were to have an all white flower piece and you put like a pink flower or something to stand out. Mm-hmm.
I had, I wore wrist corsage as a mother of the bride, and it was my mom's favorite flower.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So it was nobody knew that but me, and it was my way for me. I didn't need to make a big deal. Everybody knows my mom's not around, you know, so.
R.I.P. Yeah. But I think that, like using an old piece of fabric, like you talked about, like stitching it in or making a pocket square, those are really touching things. I also really like creating a signature drink.
Yeah, that's fun.
I think that is especially fun, because you could name it after the person. Like you could do a fun play on it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of fun things to kind of twist it around us. And you could take that even further. You know what I mean? There's so many things that you could play that into. I hadn't
heard that one. That's really cute.
Yeah. And then this is also a very traditional one, but I liked it because it's very subtle still, like using champagne glasses or something that they used or liked as like your champagne.
Gosh, I could just recap Jackie's entire wedding. We did so many things like that. The toasting glasses that Ben and Jackie used were his grandmother's crystal.
Oh, that's
and
really nice.
The knife that they cut the cake with, that was something, it's silver, and it was engraved in my family, and it was just, you know, because it was silver, so it was like it keeps getting passed down. So they used
keep having this. Yeah, good art.
Yeah, so they use that. So we did a lot. I'm super sentimental, so we did a lot of things like that. I took a piece of lace off of my wedding gown. This was really cool. I'll share this. Actually, I can't totally claim this because the florist came up with it, but I was telling you the earrings, the grandmother earrings. So Jackie didn't want to wear them, but my florist had an idea that, because I had taken a piece of lace from my dress that I wanted to incorporate somehow. So she wired that applique piece of lace and made it stiff and made it look like a flower. And then she stuck some other stuff in there, and put the earrings in there to look like part of the flowers, and put these other little, because they're pearl earrings. Yeah. So she put these other little pearl things in the bouquet. Yeah. So she made this like flower out of my lace and Jackie's great grandmother's earrings. And it was part of her bouquet. So again, just something that we knew that wasn't a big thing. Because who are you really trying to prove it to?
Well, I think it comes down to like, it's so hard picking and choosing who you want to honor. Like for me, for instance, like my mom's mom wasn't there. She had passed. My aunt's partner had passed, and I was really close with them, but my mom's sister had also passed. I wasn't really that close with her. So I was like, I don't really want to, like, you know,
you
so
have
it's
to draw
like,
the line somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when my mom brought up, like, you know, I think let's definitely honor Ryan's mom. Right. Because fucking duh.
Yeah.
But you know, maybe like we don't have to get into honoring like all the grandparents, all the other relatives, because where does it stop? Where does it stop? And I think it again, do what you want to fucking do. We're just here to tell you that it's wrong. Okay. But I think, you know, depending on how it is, it's special when it's meaningful to the people who know.
Yeah. You don't have to make a big scene and like have this whole wedding that's a whole, memorial to somebody and say, oh, that's so-and-so's favorite color and their favorite flower, and we're going to play this song. Like, it doesn't have to be in every moment of the ceremony. But going back to the new ways, maybe this isn't new, but I saw something scrolling the other day on Instagram, I think, and this bride's dad had passed away. And so she walked out at, the end of the aisle before she walked down, and she had this big white balloon. And I guess it was like in her mind kind of him and her symbol of, I know you've passed away. I'm getting married. I'm taking a new husband. I'm going to have a new family. So she kind of like said her own little prayer thing and then let the balloon go and then walked down the aisle.
That's so
and
sweet.
I thought that was,
Really
kind of creative. But. Yeah. Oh, I know. You know what? Right after that, I saw, coincidence, right? Because your phone's following you. I saw like a lady who raises a farm of animals and picks up this plastic thing that one of her animals was trying to say, please don't ruin the environment. These balloons don't actually go to heaven. They poison and kill live, wildlife and whatever.
Birds.
And it was literally like a few scrolls after the balloon thing. But,
it is cute. I've also seen when I was looking.
It was just the idea that it was like, I'm letting it, you go. I'm starting.
People used to do doves, which I think is so fucking dirty. Yeah. Don't do that.
Something really cool.
Does it involve doves?
No.
Oh, I've also seen some people do like butterflies, which I think is cute, but whatever. I
saw someone use a hole puncher, and you'll probably think this is dumb because you're not a super like creative DIY person, but
I'm building a garden. Laura
had hole punched leaves.
Oh, like confetti
in the fall, and made confetti out of leaves because it's obviously isn't that cool?
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool.
Instead of killing animals, let's talk about the death of animals, and that's what really fucking matters here.
They wouldn't necessarily have to be leaves in the fall, but magnolia leaves are hard, thick leaves, something that had substance to it. So I thought that was really cute.
I do
idea.
like that. Yeah.
So go pull all the leaves off your tree.
Weddings. Yeah. We'll just change this episode to being how to be sustainable at your wedding. Fuck your dead ones. We're here to save the environment. Anyway, that took a turn. So I think, do you have any other new ways? I feel like I saw another one and I can't remember.
I think there's so many old traditional ways that could be repurposed or like upcycled into something that's new and different. It doesn't have to be the same thing that other people are doing. I think you just need to think about maybe what that person meant to you, what their role in your life was. And like with the dessert or the signature drink, if your mom liked to cook or if they went out, or not mom, but whoever it is, you get my point. Yeah. And honor them in that way, something that's meaningful, but not kind of a like, whoa.
That was another way Ryan's mom used to do like Christmas parties, like dessert parties. And we didn't do a traditional cake. We did like a 1-tier cake just to be like, oh, look, we're cutting the cake. But we did a dessert bar, like a dessert table. And that was part of the reason why, because she had dessert parties.
Yeah,
but
I love that.
We didn't like, it was nothing that was like announced. It was just like,
but that things like that, because I do love tradition from a sentimental standpoint. So something like that can turn into a tradition. Yeah. Because that was Ryan's mom. So this is something your girls could do when they get married. Like this is what we do. It becomes a family thing, like a traditional family thing. I think a lot of traditions probably start out that way anyway.
Like based off like trying to memorialize.
Remember somebody. So.
All right, guys. I think we've
exhausted all options.
I was going to say beat this to a dead horse. Anyway, I'm full of them. You're welcome. Y'all make sure you follow us, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Please like and leave reviews, obviously 5-star and positive ones. And
we're not interested in the other ones.
We don't want to hear your negative feedback. But please subscribe. It means a lot. It helps us out immensely. Follow us, tell your friends, and send your stories. If you have any stories of where you were honoring someone or you went to a wedding and they honored someone and it was a really good idea, or you saw something that was super cringe, send us your stories to stories@cheerstothatshit.com.
Yeah, it makes for great episodes and talking points, and it's a great way to just share share information across the whole wedding world.
Across the world. 'Cause
Across the
clearly
world.
We're global. All right, guys. Next week.
Bye.
Bye.